Merry Christmas, Neil.
Merry Christmas, Chad.
We are here for a repeat visitor that we're so glad to see again.
Absolutely. We'll hear from Queen here in just a minute.
Recorded live from Louisville, it's Talk About Town, the Louisville podcast. And now, your hosts, Neil Cox and Chad Hennessy.
Hey, Ron White here. I'm nowhere to be found. You're listening to Talk About Town, like I give a...
Queen, thank you for coming back. I know you have some very exciting news for us. Book number 2 is going to be out shortly.
Yes, it is. And it's great to be back. Thank you all for having me, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. Move that camera just a little bit for you.
Okay.
We've stepped up in technology a little bit.
Yeah, we have. The location moved, and I've kind of upgraded some stuff. I had an idea earlier today where we're going to run some cords up instead of down. That'll make it a little bit better. But that's silly to talk about. Let's talk about you and your new book.
Well, it looks great. Thank you. Thank you.
So I know that you were saying the first book, wildly successful. You've traveled a bunch of different places. You've spoken on it a lot already.
Yes. Turning to my turning point. That book was the gist of we all have forks in the roads. And that moment where you have to decide, what am I going to do at this point? And what you decide at that moment will either make you or break you.
That's right.
And for me, it has made me. It has birthed purpose. And it birthed purpose, so it birthed the title of my second book of My Pain Birthed My Purpose and My Passion, I Snapped Out of It.
I love it.
And the climax is I snapped out of it before I snapped. Because I have different cliches in here about a tree branch, or when you break a bone, you hear that snap, or even the old movie Snapped. The show Snap, where people got to a point, they were just so exhausted and out of nowhere they snapped. So this book is to help people birth purpose out of pain with much passion before you get to that snapping climax. So I snapped out of it before I snapped.
And the last episode we talked about difficulties and turning that into positives down the road and having experience. So this kind of takes that theme.
Yes.
They kind of play nicely off one another.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So got to ask, and I think we talked about this the last time you were here. I know you're busy raising a family, just living an everyday life. How do you find the time? It always amazes me, the time to collect your thoughts, put it on paper, and then let alone, I guess, type it out or however you turn into a publisher.
Well, believe it or not, again, throughout life, and like you said, life journeys, life busyness, you have to always find that time to be still. And in this time of being still, it was coming out of something that was painful. But also, there's a scripture in the Bible, and I think about life. When a woman is in travail, when she's having a baby, there's pain. But after that pain of having those contractions, that epidural, I got all that in the book, you birth a beautiful bundle of joy. So throughout life and throughout the pains and challenges that we go through life, those fork in the road, this purpose came forth, this beautiful blessing of purpose. And that's of being an author. So my first book, I wrote it in 2 days. This book, actually, I finished them almost in the close proximity of each other. 3 weeks, I finished my second book.
Wow.
But my publisher was like, Queen, let's do the first one. And the first one's really done exceptionally well. Traveled to Texas, Tennessee, Nevada, throughout different areas of the state in Kentucky. So it's phenomenal. I'm loving this place and my purpose. With much passion, I do what I do as an author.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I would have to imagine just being an author and going through the process, let alone, still new to it, but of course, this is book number 2, the amount of people that you've met.
Yes.
And probably
I love
hearing
it.
the impact.
Yes, I love it. Actually, I was at an event 2 weeks ago, and one of the guys, men again, my book is for men. It's for both genders, but men are my number one buyers. I had a guy, I was at an event, he bought my book, And in all my books, I give a courtesy of my phone number, my work cell, not my personal one, but my work cell.
Yeah.
And they text me, and he was like, wow, your book is so God sent right now. He was like, I'm going through a situation in my life, and that's the first one, Turning Points. He said, I'm going through a situation in my life with my marriage, trying to decide what am I going to do. And I keep all those. And then I even share them on my Loving the Uniquely You LLC page on Facebook. And I'll post those so my readers and people can see there's people that's actually reading it. And I'll block out their numbers so I can just share their thoughts. So I love it. I love it. All the men, the people, organizations that I've connected with, it's been phenomenal. And I just feel like I haven't even scratched the surface of where I'm ready to go.
You know, Queen, you said Nevada, Tennessee, Texas, and maybe some different places. Do you seek out those opportunities? Do you have somebody helping you, saying, "Hey, I think there's some maybe an opportunity to go to Vegas or whatever it was"? What leads to the travel where you are promoting the book?
It's funny you asked that because when I first got my LLC mid this year in 2022, they were looking at all my accomplishments and how my books are really selling very well. And they were just like, who is your administrator? Who is your manager?
Yeah.
And I said, me. So who else is, I feel like when you're in your purpose, if you're not excited about your purpose, if you're not excited about your existence of why you're here and what you're doing, no one else is going to be excited about it. So right now, I do feel like my entourage, my support, my resources are coming to really uphold and help me run with this vision. I really believe that because I've done everything I know how to do to get this ball rolling and keep it moving. And even with my third book, my goal is every year to release a book. My first one, Turning To, my turning point was 2021, WON. This one, My Pain Birthed My Purpose and My Passion. I snapped out of it 2022. And then 2023, I have another one that's coming out. I can't release that topic yet, but it's beautiful. I already got it finished.
It's awesome.
Just got to type it out. So that's my goal. When you're in your purpose, when you find it, you got to run toward it and with it, whether people with you or not. And at the right time and at the right space and moment, you will have the help that you need.
That's awesome.
I can see it on you, literally right here, like you exude it.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
and I can relate to it too. I had a previous career that I didn't find satisfying.
Yes.
Changed careers, and I feel like I'm living my purpose better than before, and just my quality of life just from that.
Yes.
Huge increase in just good vibes.
Well,
Yes.
you know, it's the old saying that, you know, whether it be our parents or friends, mentors, whatever, you know, yes, we all, you know, we work to provide, you know, try to provide for your family, got to make money to kind of, you know, do what you got to do.
Definitely.
But truly, if you find your passion,
Yes.
and if you can make your occupation your passion or
Yes.
vice versa, well, you're really not working anymore.
Right.
Yes.
It's true.
There's a quote in here, and actually I was rummaging through here. One of my favorite quotes says, when you working hard for something that you don't care about, it's called stress. Working hard for something you love is called passion. And I believe the lady's name is Chrissy. So it's like when you care about something you really love, and forgive me to the author and the person of that if I quoted your name wrong, but I'm in my purpose. And everywhere I go, it's not just a blessing for me. I'm blessing other people. I feel like it's impacting them to tell them, okay, you can turn from where you are. You don't have to stay there. You have the mind to get out of it. You can get out of it. And then you can snap out of it before it really costs you. Because a lot of times when people are at a snapping point, a lot is not for the good. You know, even the movie Snap, a lot of these people were in abusive relationships. They got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And one of my cliches I put in here was from Stanford and Son. Aunt Esther, she said, you old fish-eye fool. You know, she was getting at her snapping point. And if she would have really reacted on it, you know, a lot of time it can cost people their life, their freedom, you know, a relationship or something. So this book is telling me and to tell others, you can snap out of it before you snap. You don't have to let your mind snap and break before it costs you something more than just that moment. You know, and it can cost you an eternity consequence.
Yeah. And I've seen plenty of times where something that you think is a curse turns out to be a blessing in disguise.
Definitely. And that's one of my quotes from my book. epiphany that God gave me was what seemed to be the worst of times turns into the best of times. And truly that's happened for me in my life. What I thought was the worst in 2021, and that's the reason I call it WON, because I still won.
Yeah.
Because it really transformed me. It, like I said, I'm in my purpose now. It birthed purpose. It birthed passion. It's given me fervency. And like you said, I appreciate, like you said, you see it on me.
Yeah.
If you don't have passion about what you're talking about, no one else is not going to believe you. You know, a lot of people are coming to me to eat off my tree and ask me, Queen, how do I write a book? How do I go about? And I tell them the main thing is believe what you're writing. If you're not believable, people are not going to believe you.
Are you finding that obviously you've completed your third book, and I know there'll be a fourth?
Yes.
Do you find that it's a little easier to, translate the thoughts, not necessarily in time, like quick? I'm not asking about if it's quicker or not, but maybe easier how it flows from obviously your thoughts, your passion, your mind to paper, if you want to say.
I feel like it is therapeutic.
Okay.
Very therapeutic, because even before I wrote these books are about like now, recent, within a year and a half. I've been journaling prior to that between 20, 23 years.
You told us that the last time.
Yes.
That's right. That's
So
absolutely right.
this is like very therapeutic for me. I write down how my day was, what was said, what was my response, how it made me feel. So I feel like now being an author is helping me share with the world how you can process things, how you don't have to be so reactive, but you can sit back and allow your thoughts to process. And a lot of times if we take time to think, and be a thinker, we can get out things much better. And I even noted that in my book, a lot of times, people be like, I gave you a piece of my mind. And I said, if people keep giving a piece of their mind away, that's when they get to their snapping point.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
Yeah.
so you got to stop giving your mind away, a piece of your mind away, because you're not only giving away the PEICE of piece of your mind, but the PEACE of your mind. So if staying away from somebody means keeping my peace, let's keep peace so I don't snap out of it, so I can snap, not cause a situation.
Have you, I know that you've told Neil and I a little bit about some of the, how the methods of how you were able to sell the book and some of the most successful stops. Do you have much online presence, or how's the online going?
Beautiful.
Good.
I do a lot. My publishers, everything's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Amazon has really done great by me, so I really promote Amazon, but it is on Barnes & Noble as well. But a lot of my things I put on my LLC page. I had got me a business page. Again, Loving the Uniquely You, where I tell people it's important to embrace and love who you are. Because when you love who you are, you can't help but to receive what you believe that you are, and, to display that. So I think a lot, again, in life is knowing who you are, knowing your worth and your value. And one thing, epiphany that came to me, I'm bringing more than a pretty face to a table. It's not just a lot of time when people are dating, it's like, okay, what do you have to offer?
Yep.
I'm more than a pretty face.
Yep.
I got purpose. I'm walking in power. I'm walking in my passion. That's awesome. I'm stable in every area of my life. So it's a blessing to be in that place. So
I have stuff to learn from you then, for sure. Cause I do have a book out there, but it's a business book, and that it's it's about real estate. And so it's not creative, if you know what I mean. Okay. And do you know the Miracle Morning? Do you know that?
The concept I've heard about.
Yeah. It's
help me out. I want to hear it.
So Hal Elrod is the author, and he went through some stuff, and he developed his own little morning routine. And there were like 6 things that you do, and one of them was write every day. Yep. Okay. And I used to be real faithful for that for a while, and I was journaling, but I have not done it in a while, and I'll do it once and be like, okay, this is it, we're doing it, and then I won't do it. And I have big thoughts a lot of times that are hard for me to verbalize.
Okay.
I think it comes, I've got an art background and music and that kind of stuff, but it's hard. It's, only with intention can that stuff really come out onto the page. So give me tips for continuing to do this, because I would love to.
Well, one, for you to be an artist and musician, that lets me know you're very creative. So really, I believe it's already in you. And I just believe just launching out.
Yep.
And for myself, I'm fearless.
Okay.
It's huge.
I'm fearless when it comes to talking to people. And my motto is the only person I fear is God. Because in my private life and in public life, my whole goal is pleasing him, whether I'm in private or public. So right now, especially having reached my turning point, there's no other options but for me to please him. And that's my whole mantra right now. My whole life right now is for me to do the will of God. And right now I know one of my divine purposes is as an author. But as you're saying, Neil, I feel like just step out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I literally sell my books everywhere I go.
That's crazy.
People
You have them on
knows
you. Yeah.
people knows don't scare me. People faces. I feel like sometimes those with the most raunchy or scrunch face or misdemeaned face are those that I need to reach because I feel like there's something in my book that can help them. So I mean, gas stations. If I'm walking around the store,
That's
grocery
awesome.
shopping.
Do you take Venmo? I mean, do you have people like just to Venmo
Say it
you on the
again.
spot? Yeah.
How you doing? Yes,
Nice.
sir.
That's awesome. No, that's great.
So Venmo, Cash App, whoever created Cash App, Venmo, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just being fearless, talking to people. Again, just fear no faces. I feel like fear holds a lot of people back from doing a lot of stuff.
I think being fearless with talking to people, you can open a lot of doors
Yes.
just with that.
Yes.
I mean, I knew this guy. He was much older than me a long time ago. We kind of worked in the same place, and he was telling me about how he just goes and opens doors wherever he is. Like,
Okay.
you know, it might say unauthorized access, but he's going to check it out. And he's like, you would not believe the things I have seen from just not reading signs.
Yeah.
That's bold, but fearless. That is. That
Yeah.
sure is.
Yeah. So like even I wouldn't even mind. I don't know how busy your schedule is. Usually depend on my work schedule as well. But when I'm at events, you know, sometimes I'll rent me a booth card at Jefferson Mall. And that's where I'm gonna have my book signing for this at Jefferson Mall.
Tell us the date.
Yeah,
Okay.
please. I was going to ask you about that.
Yes. Okay. The book signing for this second book is going to be at Jefferson Mall, December the 31st, 2022. What better time?
New Year's Eve.
Yep.
New Year's Eve, yes. To make, you know, we always get our list and New Year's resolution.
Yep.
But how about a new mindset?
Yeah.
How about a mindset with purpose and passion and snapping out of things before you snap?
Yeah.
Tell yourself, I'm going to get out of that unhealthy relationship, that toxic relationship, whether it's family, friend, or foe. Keep your peace. Not on New Year's Eve night or New Year's Day, go off on somebody, get in some trouble. You want to end your year strong
Yep.
and you want to begin strong. So December 31st at 2 p.m. at Jefferson Mall out on the outer loop.
Nice.
That's great. I think that's
Yes.
going to be. We were talking this before we started the podcast. It's a great day. I mean, it's still people will be taking Christmas gifts back. They're going
Yep.
to be out and about. Kids are out of
Yes.
school, so you'll probably see families walking around, just a little bit of everything. And hopefully, this helps pub it a little bit too.
Yes, I appreciate you all. I mean, I really love the report and everything I got back from the first. And you all promised me. I appreciate you being men of your word and kept your word to me. So
I love it. I get a text from Queen and I think it was Sunday night.
yes.
And she's like, I've got this. I was like, what are you doing Tuesday?
Yes. And I felt kind of bad. I was like, I know it's not a work night. I said, and I'm fine if he don't respond. But I do appreciate you responding.
Yeah, he
and you
forwarded it
were on
over
it.
to me. And you
Yes.
know, I mean, there's no reason we wouldn't do it a third time when
Yes.
that book is ready.
That's
too.
right.
It's very exciting for you.
Yes, I'm loving it. And I'm telling you, I tell people, this is one of my cliches. I tell people, and I believe with all my heart, you guys, that I tell people, even if you don't get a book from me, I said, don't hurt my feelings because I'm in my purpose and I'm doing it with passion. So I said, when you see me on TV, you can just say I met her in person. That is my words
awesome.
of affirmation. I say it to the thousandth and umpteenth power. When you see me on TV, you can say I met her in person.
Yep. We knew you.
Yeah.
We knew her when.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. And then one guy told me, he said, I'm going to wait till you on Oprah or a big talk show. I said, it's going to be too late.
I love it.
And then I'm going to have my publicist answer the phone.
Yeah.
And I won't be available.
Queen, let me ask you this. Obviously, you got the December 31st.
Yes,
I
sir.
think the release date you told us is Christmas, correct?
Yes, we're gonna release. I should have a lot of bulk of my books this week, but I felt like New Year's Eve was the best time to encourage people to end the year strong, but then also to start it strong. 2023, 2022 year of double blessings. 2023, I believe it happened for me. That's my thing. 2022 again, double blessings. Look for things of double happening, and it has happened for me. So 2023, I believe it's going to be an overflow. My title is "It Happened for Me."
Yeah.
So in 2023.
Queen, I know you've done this before, and we'll of course put it on the our post and how we share it. But is there a site you'd like to pub, or maybe even one of your links or anything like that, just for the audience to go find you?
Again, loving the uniquely you, loving LOVING the uniquely you LLC on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yes.
Great.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yes.
And of course, we'll in the notes here we'll have a link there,
Awesome.
and we'll send people to you. And I told you too, I'm out of town New Year's Eve, or I'd be right there at your book signing.
Yes. Yes.
Jefferson Mall. Do you know what time?
2 p.m.
Excellent.
2 p.m. Yes, because they're closing early. So actually, I'll be there a little earlier, but I'll be selling regardless. But just for this moment of sharing, I'm saying 2 o'clock. But I will be there majority of the day.
And then January 26th, I told Queen, and I think Chad will be there too, about the nonprofit arm of my business that's been going on. And I haven't really even mentioned this on our show yet.
Okay.
But you can go check out it's LouisvilleLocalClub.org. And we've got some events that are kind of part networking, part just fun, and part random act of kindness. So people go check that out. The next one's January 26th, 23.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it'd be fun.
Awesome. Yes.
Well, cool. Well, any other thing you want to say before we wrap up? Because I know you're kind of on fire for this right now. So
I am.
Leave us with a nugget.
Again, do what you love and do what you love with passion. And it won't be work.
Love it.
I love it. All right.
Yes.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening. You can reach us at neil@talkabouttownky.com. Neil is a realtor with Judah Real Estate Group. Chad is a partner at Insura Max. You can reach him at chadh@insuramax.com. Check us out on the web at talkabouttownky.com. Go Cards!